Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be picking my November TBR. This is like one of my all-time favorite times of the month. I have two jars that I love to pick from. This little jar is full of books that have been on my TBR for a long time, or books that I've like been putting off for a while for whatever reason. So I'll pick one prompt from this jar, and then from our little acorn jar here, this is just like a bunch of regular prompts that I've kind of just like come up with or gotten from other channels. And we'll pick at least 5, maybe 1 more, 2 more from this jar, depending on how I'm feeling. And yeah, there's a bunch of different kinds of prompts in here. I've added a lot recently, and so I'm very excited. I am currently working on finishing my October TBR. We had a phenomenal chef's kiss October TBR, and so far it's going really well. Let's go ahead and start by choosing one from this jar. This is always the part that makes me nervous because these are books, like I said, that I've been putting off, books that have been on my TBR for a long time for whatever reason. So it could be anything. I hope it's a good one. This is actually really, really perfect. Oh my gosh. I am so excited that we picked this one, especially this time of year, because this is perfect. I have been slowly making my way through this series. This is the Bear and the Nightingale series, if you've seen that book. Where did it go? The series right here. So I thrifted this copy actually and fell head over heels in love with this character. She is just a quirky little girl who lives in Russia in this like very harsh winter, and a lot of creepy weird things happen to her, and there's magic involved and witchery, and it's just so interesting and very like moody, and it's very easy to like dive headfirst into the story and be immersed in the scenery and stuff. So this is the last and final installment. It's a trilogy, and so I'm very excited to finally finish this series because this has been like such a pleasure to read the series. So yeah, wow, that's super exciting. Catherine Arden is like one of my favorite authors now. I love her writing style so much. So that was a fantastic pick. I've been trying to like hold out to wait for like colder weather to read this because it's very much set in like a Russian winter setting, and so it just doesn't feel right to read it when it's 90 degrees outside, which I'm not going to lie, it is 93 degrees outside right now, but maybe I'll wait until like later in November to read this. I have a nice cup of apple cider in my brand new mug, and I have been drinking apple cider like every single morning recently. You will always catch me with some type of beverage, hot, cold, whatever. I just can't live without. Okay, let's pick our next one. So now we'll start picking out of this jar and start picking some prompts to get some books on here. As far as books that like I hope to be able to get to in November, I have a few, and I also have a few new releases that are coming out that are a little bit longer books too. So I have not read Alchemized yet, so Alchemized is on there. A Dawn of Chaos and Fury is coming out by Melissa K. Rourke. That's the one that I'm gonna read almost immediately. And then also Empire of the Dawn by J. Kristoff. So those 3 books are like huge for me on this TBR. Alchemized, I think I can wait a little bit longer. I think I can keep pushing it off because it's so anticipated that like I know it's not gonna be bad. So I just wanna like cherish as much time as I can. Cherish the anticipation, I think, as long as I possibly can for that book. So I'm okay to kind of like push that one back a little bit. Other than that, I think I'm open to really picking anything this month. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I guess we'll pick this one. This is a really small one. It's teeny tiny. Maybe it's free pick. What does it say? Ooh, 25 out of 25. So this is my 25 and 2025 list. So that's actually a really good one to pick for second to last month because I have no idea what I've actually read on that list, which actually last time I checked I was doing pretty good. So let's see, I'll pull it up for you, put it on there so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. So this is my 25 for 2025. I have Wuthering Heights, Will of the Many, City of Brass, Ballad of Falling Dragons. Oh, well, I can't even read that until next year anyways. Burn of the Everflame, can't read that. Rhythm of War and Wind of Truth. I honestly am not gonna be getting to those at the end of this year. It's just not happening. Curse Carved in Bone, I've read that. I actually DNF'd it. Dracula, Slewfoot, and Servant of the Earth. Dang, those are all really good. And then those are the ones that I've read so far. Is there anything in here? I know I want to read Wuthering Heights. Will of the Many is my October TBR. I don't want to read City of Brass, Dracula, Slewfoot, and Servant of the Earth. I'm not feeling another Fae fantasy romance, if I'm being honest. I've read a lot of those recently. I think I'm a little tired of them. Slewfoot could be a really, really good option. And I think I'm gonna put that on there. It's either between Slewfoot and Wuthering Heights. I do want to read Wuthering Heights, but I don't even know if I want to put that on a TBR. I kind of want to wait until like I'm really feeling it, because that's one of those special books that like I don't want to force. I want to read it when I'm in the mood so I can give it the best chance as possible. So I think we're gonna put Slewfoot on there. Let me find it. This is honestly like a really good list, if I do say so myself. So Slewfoot, this is gonna be our second book on our November TBR. This is a very much creepy looking book. It's a horror book by Brom. And what intrigued me about this was one, the artwork in the book, and then two, a review that I heard from Sydney the Bookworm on this book, and she just had like some really, really good things to say about it. And I think the overarching plot of this book is basically a female like fighting a bad relationship or a abusive relationship and fighting to get out of that and like coming into our own. And I just love stories like that. Yeah, I think Slewfoot is gonna be a really, really good read. And of course now of all times is the time that I need to be reading it. Maybe I'll even be able to pick it up in October. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very excited about this book. We are already on a fantastic track of getting a lot of good witchy reads in, and I am fully in my like witchy mood recently. Like I could read anything witchy right now. All right, here's our next one. This says, a book recently added to your TBR. What a fantastic prompt. And I already know what I'm gonna pick. Wow, I'm so excited for this one. I'm honestly kind of nervous actually. Now that I picked it up and I'm feeling how heavy this is, I'm like, oh my gosh, do I actually want to put this on there? Oh man, I don't know. This also might be another one where I'm like, I don't want to put it on a list until I know for certain I'm ready to read it. I think I'm going to be ready to read it though, that's the thing. Actually, you know what? Don't be mad at me, but I don't think I'm gonna put this on there. I don't know. I just have this feeling that I want to hold on to this for a while. So I'm gonna put this back. Don't be mad at me, okay? I recently went to Barnes & Noble for my mental health and I did purchase this book. I actually had received an ARC of this on NetGalley and I just wasn't able to get to it before it was published. I just wasn't able to, unfortunately. And then I saw it at Barnes & Noble the other day and I still like really want to read it. Like I'm very intrigued and I would love to be able to read it soon and then maybe still be able to like put my review on NetGalley for them. If I can, I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but I just like am very intrigued by this book and this cover. Also, I just noticed that Sarah Pinner reviewed this book, and if you've watched any of my videos like recently, I can't stop talking about Sarah Pinner and how much I love her writing style, so that makes me excited. Basically what this book is about, I will read the back. It says, they called it hysteria, she called it survival. Lulu Mayfield has spent the last 5 years molding herself into the perfect 1950s housewife. Despite the tragic memories that haunt her and the weight of exhausting expectations, she keeps her husband happy. Her household running, her gelatin salads the talk of the neighborhood. But after she gives birth to her second child, Lulu's carefully crafted life begins to unravel. So I think it's gonna be like a almost like horror thriller, general fiction maybe, if I had to guess. I'm here for it. And I'm into something that's like a little bit different than what I've normally been reading. I think I need to like switch it up a little bit. So I think this is gonna be the perfect option for that. So we have 3 more to pick. We'll pick this one. Hachi is just so cute on the couch right now. It's upside down, I think. It says, a book you've been putting off for any reason. Any reason, okay? It doesn't have to be a bad reason. A book that I've been putting off for any reason. Now I'm thinking that I should just put Alchemize on there because I've been putting it off because I'm putting it off for a good reason. I'm not gonna lie, I am, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know actually, like what I want to put on there. All right, I've got a few options that make sense for this prompt. 3 books here that I have been holding off reading for a while, not really for like any particular reason, more so just because they are either literary fiction or general fiction, and that's just not something that I read consistently all the time. I usually will read like fantasy, but these are all books that I really do want to read and soon. So we have Salt Slow on here by Julia Armfield. I read another one of her books recently and I really enjoyed it, but it's a horror and it's kind of like a bodily horror book, and those can be kind of icky or okay. So I think I'm nervous going into this one because I'm not sure if it's gonna be icky or not. I have Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I think I've been putting this off because it's going to make me cry and I think it's gonna be kind of sad, or it could go the opposite and just be like really boring. So I think that's why I'm putting this one off, but I do really want to read it, and it's short and I've heard a lot of really good things about it. And then the next one is The Penelopiad by Margaret Atwood. I couldn't tell you why I'm putting this off, but I know that I have. I just like kind of brushed it aside in my mind anytime I think of it. And I think it's just because this is going to be the second Margaret Atwood book that I've read after reading The Handmaid's Tale. And I think I've been kind of wanting to read The Good Testaments before this. And then also I am a little nervous that I'm not gonna love it as much as The Handmaid's Tale, because Handmaid's Tale is just like nothing's really gonna beat that. And so I don't wanna be disappointed, but I also still think it's gonna be good. So it's just like kind of dumb while I'm putting this off. So out of all 3 of these, this would make sense for spooky season. This one would make sense just because I'm in the mood for like literary fiction, and then this one would be in the mood, would be a good idea because it is Margaret Atwood. Weirdly enough, I'm actually kind of leaning towards Hamnet, and I'm in the mood to cry. So we're gonna put Hamnet on there. I am actually really loving this like mix of genres, and that there's not a whole lot of fantasy in there, and I'm not really mad about it because I've read a lot of fantasy recently and I think I need to like chill. This one, I feel like I've picked this one before. I don't know, it feels like halfway opened, you know? What does that say? Matches your outfit. I have picked this one before. Ooh, okay. Matches my cute little sweater. I have a blue, green, and cream colored sweater and gray sweats. So super cozy and wintry and green, blue, cream. Let's have a little look-see, shall we? I think I actually have a good idea of what I want to pick. Yeah, this one looks good. The London Seance Society, and I picked it because the color, the blue and the green and the cream kind of matches, and then it's giving kind of like cozy vibes. So we definitely could pick this one, or we could pick this one, which is absolutely stunning. This is The Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vampa. I've seen a lot of people read this recently, and I think that this is an academic setting romantasy, and I ordered this recently in the hardback and I didn't realize, but the hardback is like gorgeous. Which one kind of like matches better? I mean, the green definitely matches really well, and it's cozy, academic sweater, or London Seance Society. I could be happy with either one of these, so honestly, should I put both on there? No, I shouldn't do that. I'm gonna pick this one, and I think you guys will be happy about that. So Exorcism of Fairies is gonna be the next book. That's good, because that gives us a little bit of fantasy, not too much. All right, next one and last one, depending on what we pick, I guess. I'm just gonna leave that on the floor. I'm not gonna pick it, because that seems spooky to me. Okay. Hachi picks. Oh, yay. Hachi, do you want to pick my book? Immediately I go into dog talking voice. I told you who's like super cozy right now. All right, I'm gonna get it set up and then have him pick. These are the 3 books that I'm gonna set out for Hachi, and he's going to pick one. Let's do it. All right, you ready? Go get a book. You want that one? Good boy. Hachi picked London Seance Society. Good job, buddy. Me too. You're so good. You're always on mommy's side. You're always on mommy's side. So Hachi picked London Seance Society. Look at that. I almost thought that he might have picked The Witcher. I ended up choosing to add the Witcher book on there. He's drinking water, sorry if that annoys you, but I have 5% left on my camera, so I need to keep talking. But yeah, so he ended up picking this one and I'm very excited. So it all works out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And like always, I'm having way too much fun. So let's pick like 2 more, 1 more. Let's see, we'll pick 2. God, he's like licking the bowl clean. First book on Goodreads. This is a fun one. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna mirror my screen and I'm going to start scrolling on Goodreads, and whatever is the first book that shows up is the book that we're gonna read. And it's the first book that's on my physical TBR. Oh my God, Blood Over Bright Haven. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Wow, this is just, honestly, this is just going too good. I'm suspicious. There we go, guys. This is our next book on our TBR. And I mean, you just saw me put it on there for Hachi to pick. So clearly I wanna read this. I don't remember if this is on my 25 to read in 2025, but I do really wanna read this. A lot of people have said amazing things. It seems very academic-y, very wintry, fall, you know, like the vibes that we're going for right now. So this is gonna be our next book on our TBR. My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna pick 1 more and then we'll be done. Oh, I already saw it. Hardback. Let's see. My camera just died, so audio is probably not gonna be super great with this, but we're just gonna have to keep it going. So I chose pick a hardback as the next prompt. I know what book that I do wanna read eventually this fall, and that is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This is a pretty chunky book. It's actually not that bad. It's like 500 pages, and this is definitely spooky, like spooky setting type of book. And I do want to read it this fall, and I think that it would be a good time to put this in there. A lot of wiggle room to mood read for this TBR. So that is what I'm really excited about. So we have The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. We have Blood Over Bright Haven by Emma Wang. London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. Exorcism of Fairies by J.L. Vampa. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. The Mad Wife by Megan Church, Slewfoot by Rom, and The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. All of these books I am incredibly excited to get to. I'm so excited to start, and we have a couple other new releases too coming out this month, so I better get to it, and I hope that I have much more time to read this month. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys next Saturday for my next video. Bye guys.